The Minecraft movie is almost here, and we have something special for you today, theorists. 3 mini-theories covering the deep lore of Minecraft, some classic theorist math and science, and a prediction for where this franchise is going. Buckle up, friends, as we get ready to dive into it. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the show that always builds a theory up just to break them down. So, after a decade of waiting, it's almost time for a Minecraft movie to finally hit theaters. At this point, if you don't know what Minecraft is, I don't believe you. It's literally the biggest game in the world, and basically everyone's heard of it. But the long and short of it, you get plopped down into the overworld, you mine, and you craft. Yeah, it really is that simple. But that basic premise allowed for some of the most incredible freedom ever given to players, allowing them to create literally whatever they could think of as long as it was made out of blocks. They even let you create your own skins and play as whomever you want. Which reminds me, we actually teamed up with Mojang to get official Theorist Minecraft skins in the game. Yeah, for real. I mean, just look at these. They are so freaking cool, and I cannot believe this is real. Tom's a true gamer, Santi's a dork, Amy's on point as always, and of course I had to go with a Dragon Ball inspired gi. Not sure if these are going to be live in the store by the time this theory goes up, but keep an eye out, I'm sure we'll shout them out again. Anyway, like I said earlier, they've been trying to make a Minecraft movie for years at this point, handing it off from director to director and studio to studio, and what they landed on?
They want me to fight the chicken?
Chicken jockey!
Yeah, okay, that's a bit rough. Listen, we've gone over this 1,000 times already. The choice to do this in live action was weird, and everyone looks out of place, like they're standing against a green screen, because they are. But hey, I'll give them the benefit of a doubt. Maybe this movie will surpass everyone's expectations. I hope. Anyway, with the movie quickly approaching, and in celebration of film theory stealing yet another one of Game Theory's toys, I wanted to revisit the world of Minecraft with another theory. But as I was digging into it, well, given what we see in the trailers, I didn't come away with one new theory, but instead 3 mini-theories covering all of the Theorist classics. The deep lore, math and science, and a good old prediction. So with that in mind, get your diamond pickaxes ready, loyal theorists, as we dig into 3 mini Minecraft theories. Mini-theory number 1, the scale is off. So if you didn't know, every block in Minecraft is exactly 1 meter cubed. That's 1 meter tall by 1 meter wide by 1 meter deep, or just about 3.3 feet for all of my fellow Americans out there. That might not sound like a lot, but that's actually way bigger than you're probably imagining. Our friends over at Corridor Digital actually did a really awesome video about this, showing just how this would look in the real world, and well, I mean, just look at the size of this block, it's huge! All that being said, the creators of the film did see this as potentially an issue, so they decided to make some changes for the movie.
We scaled it down, and the scale's like 60 centimeters cubed, which is 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet.
And hey, you know what? That checks out. Just eyeballing the blocks from the trailer, that seems to be roughly correct. But, well, I wanted to have some fun with math here and question, what if these were full-sized blocks? What would that mean for the characters in this movie and how comically big they'd be? So let's start with Steve, because measuring Jack Black's height here would actually be quite easy. In some parts of the trailers, we see him standing by several dirt blocks. Using our trusty friend pixel measurements, we can determine that Jack Black is 402 pixels tall, and just about 2.5 times the size of these blocks here. So if Steve in the Minecraft movie is 2.5 blocks tall, and if the blocks were 1 meter tall each, that would make Steve 2.5 meters tall, or 8 foot 2 inches. That is massive! Shaquille O'Neal, you know, the basketball player famous for being tall, is only 7 foot 1 or 2.16 meters tall. And this is also extra funny because Steve is supposed to canonically be 6 foot 2 inches in the games, and Jack Black is a short king in real life, standing at just 5 foot 6 or 1.68 meters. Someone else that would suddenly be comically tall here would be our main character, Henry. In the trailers, we see him stand next to part of a tree that is 2 blocks high. Henry is bending over here slightly and is still a touch taller than these 2 blocks, meaning that he'd be just about 2.25 meters or 7 foot 4 inches tall. Man, guess he hit his growth spurt, huh? But that's nothing compared to Aquaman himself, Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison. Now, Jason Momoa is already pretty tall in real life. He's 6'3" or 1.93 meters tall, but he's a giant in our little hypothetical here. Using this shot of Garrett, we can see that he's just about as tall as 3 stone blocks, maybe even slightly taller because he isn't standing completely straight. In this case, the Garbage Man would be a massive 3.1 meters or 10 feet tall. 10 feet. That would actually make Garrett taller than the tallest man to have ever been recorded, Robert Wadlow, who was a measly 8'11". Now, once again, I am aware that the movie has shrunken the blocks down. This is just a fun little thought experiment. And it's a good thing that it's only that, because if this were the case, none of these characters would likely make it out of this movie. See, humans aren't supposed to be this big. Studies have shown correlations between how tall someone is and their likelihood of experiencing a number of health conditions, such as an irregular heartbeat, circulatory problems around the veins, and even nerve damage. Especially if these characters were this tall doing all of the physically demanding things in this film, they'd certainly be in a lot of pain. Oh, and just to finish this section off, I noticed something weird when looking at all of the behind-the-scenes materials involving the blocks. Like this trailer here. Not only is Steve here about 3 blocks tall, but some of these blocks don't even exist in Minecraft. While there are some typical stone blocks here, there's also stone slabs over on the left side of the frame. Those are blocks that are about half the size of a normal block. Now, that part's normal, but there's also some vertical stone slabs over here on the right side of the frame, which don't exist in vanilla Minecraft at all. There's even a tiny square block here too, about a quarter of the original block size. Again, something that isn't in Minecraft. And this isn't just unique to this scene. Elsewhere, we also see small grass steps, another type of block that isn't in the game. And honestly, I bet there are just a ton of these in the film that we just haven't seen yet. So what's happening here with these? Is this just the filmmakers varying things up to make this world a bit more visually interesting? I mean, yes, almost certainly, regardless of whether that's a good or bad decision. But no matter the intention, I believe that this right here might be giving us a glimpse into the future of Minecraft as a video game franchise. So we've talked about this on the channel previously, but because film and television is so accessible to audiences, adaptations of video games are already starting to influence the visual aesthetic and lore of big franchises. I mean, just look at how Donkey Kong looks in the new Mario Kart. He's like pulled straight out of the Mario movie. So new types of blocks or recognizable blocks in a completely different style, those are exactly the sorts of things that the developers at Mojang would take from this movie and add into their game, just to continue to give Minecraft life even 14 years after it's released. Mini theory number 2, the secret origins of the zombies and skeletons. So zombies and skeletons are 2 of the most iconic mobs in Minecraft. Behind the Creeper and Enderman, they might even be the enemy you think of with this game. So, of course, the movie's gonna give them a bit of a chance to shine when the sun goes down. Oh wait, just hold on a second there. These zombies and skeletons are undead mobs, but undead what, exactly? The zombies in the game have always been designed to look like dead versions of Steve, wearing the exact same clothes as him. That always implied that these are supposed to be zombified player characters, or builders, or whatever the heck we're gonna classify Steve as. That's further supported by the fact that zombie villagers are a completely different mob in Minecraft, so these regular zombies aren't villagers that just met a bad end. At the very least, the movie seems to be taking cues from the game here, but we see Steve fighting a zombie in the trailer and they're wearing the same clothes. And not only that, but both the zombies and skeletons look way more, well, human than anything else we've seen in Minecraft. They have extra joints like elbows, and unlike the definitively blocky creatures like piglins and villagers, they're rounder, for a lack of a better word. They just look like regular people you've kind of just plopped a square head on. So, what's going on here? Is there anything we can dig into that explains the lore here? According to our sister location game theory, we found countless signs proving the existence of an ancient civilization of builders who were able to craft and build the ruins and monuments we stumble upon in the game. However, after their numerous experiments, they eventually created the Wither. They ended up escaping from it into a new dimension known as the End, where they lived out their final days. We believe that the in-game player character, Steve, is a descendant of these ancient builders due to his ability to build and craft. Just go check out Game Theory's in-depth Minecraft lore series if you want more of that. So, if a Minecraft movie follows any sort of a similar storyline, that would mean that Steve's ability to build was passed down by his ancestors, the ancient builders, which would be why he yearns for the mines.
As a child, I yearned for the mines.
He's just following in his ancestors' footsteps. But the big difference here from the games and the movies, instead of fleeing to the End, at least some of the ancient builders left for the real world, leaving behind their dead companions who were eventually turned into the undead mobs we see in the trailers. Now, from a story perspective, that works. That makes sense. It would explain why the zombies and skeletons look so darn human instead of like the villagers we see in other parts of the trailers. But it doesn't explain the weird blockiness of them. Why would the skeletons have angular skulls and rib cages? Why are the zombies' heads so square despite their bodies being remarkably human? Well, my first thought was that the longer you're in the Minecraft overworld, the more blocky you become. Like just being in this area just sort of transforms you. Maybe that's why the zombies aren't completely block-shaped. Their ancestors ancestors died before they fully turned angular. But honestly, that seems a bit weak and speculative. There isn't any real proof for it, and it's kind of a lame hand wave, especially when there are some other explanations that could make more physical sense. For example, it's believed that some ancient humans cut off some of their fingers for religious or cultural reasons. The ancient builders might have done the same to get those three-fingered hands. And there are also multiple cultures from around the world that actually physically reshape the skulls of their people to look different. This was known as cranial modification or cranial deformation, and this happened all over the world, from ancient Europe, Asia, and South America. Some big examples are Mayan tribes in Mesoamerica who shaped their skulls to be more conical, and other Japanese cultures that would flatten parts of their skulls. This was done for a ton of reasons which varied from culture to culture. Some did it to be more intimidating, like the Huns, while others did it to distinguish between different social tribes and groups. Now, most of these skull reshapings took place when the people were infants, since a child's skull doesn't fully form until they're around 3 years old. But despite this, skulls can still take years to fuse after this, and though they shouldn't leave permanent marks, both glasses and headphones can temporarily reshape your head. Like, I know I have little skull indentations behind my ears because of my glasses, and I'm sure all of you gamers out there with headsets probably have a dent on the top of your head. You're touching the top of your skull right now, aren't you? If you did, why not subscribe? I am a mind reader after all. Well, what if here in the Minecraft overworld, the human ancient builders actually did this to themselves? What if, as a part of their culture and desire to be closer to other mobs in the overworld, they shaped their skulls and rib cages to be cubes? Or heck, maybe after the ancient builders passed away, the villagers wanted to shape their heads when they were laid to rest, a way to represent that they were one of us, so to speak. Little did they know that these bodies would then rise again, either as skeletons or zombies, to attack them. Mini theory number 3, the secret to Steve's power. So in our previous theory predicting the plot of the Minecraft movie, we spent a lot of time talking about this thing right here. This little cube that might be what transports Steve and the other humans into the overworld. Back then, we speculated that this was the Orb of Dominance from Minecraft Dungeons. Yes, I know it's a little cube. Minecraft is weird sometimes. Long story short, the Orb of Dominance is a powerful item from the end that is used for evil. The correlations were pretty strong at the time, but since then, well, new information has come to light that gives us a different answer to what this orb might be, and it comes from a source you might not expect: a real-world attraction. See, Mojang recently announced the Minecraft experience, taking place in London starting April 4th, 2025, the same day the film opens, where you get to experience Minecraft, but in real life. This is absolutely a sort of test attraction to see what they can do for those theme parks that they are definitely building in the future, but I digress. And just so you know, we will be checking out the Minecraft experience to dig into what sweet juicy lore might be there. Yeah, even though Tom moved away from the UK, we do still have a writer in the area who got tickets, so keep an eye out for an episode on game or film theory if there's enough there. But the reason we're bringing this up now with this mini theory about the film, well, I believe that the Minecraft experience and the film coming out at roughly the same time isn't a coincidence, and explains something that even our beloved sister location game theory hasn't been able to answer. How is Steve able to build things in the game when that's not a typical power with other mobs or characters in the overworld? How? Well, take a look at this. On the website for the Minecraft experience, they explain that you'll be going through this attraction using an item called the Orb of Interaction. This thing serves multiple purposes and glows different colors depending on what you need it to do. You have green to mine resources, red to fight enemies, yellow to build, and blue to guide you. Now, I don't know about you, but I saw that and immediately alarm bells started going off in my head. You know what else is blue? The orb that Steve and Henry are holding in the movie. This thing isn't an orb of domination, it's an orb of interaction. And believe it or not, but this even lines up with one of the big mysteries left over from the Minecraft trailers. Yeah, if you look closely in shots like this one where the orb is being placed inside of a glass box, you can see that it has writing on it in a different language. This is actually just the standard galactic alphabet, a language made for several old school video games that Minecraft has used throughout its run. But after translating all of these letters, it doesn't really make any sense. To be honest with you, I actually wasn't really sure what to do with this one, which is why I hadn't brought it up before now. But thankfully, this community of theorists is incredible and solved this. Yeah, Reddit user TokeGecko23 over on our subreddit was actually able to crack this code. These letters weren't written from right to left or anything like that, but instead in a spiral. And when decoded that way, it reads Iron Gold Stone Gate Head Home. This is giving us instructions on how to build some sort of gateway. And remember what the blue orb stood for in the Minecraft experience? Blue is the guide. This orb is literally guiding the characters in the film on how to make some sort of portal to go somewhere. Now, this is awesome. And again, shoutouts to TokeGecko23 for helping us figure this one out. But at the same time, this also raises a ton of other questions. Like, first of all, this recipe for making a portal is weird. There isn't any portal that we know of that requires stone, iron, and gold. It is kind of similar to a nether ruins found in the overworld, which itself is connected to the nether portal, but that doesn't really have any iron, so it doesn't work either. Whatever this is instructing the movie characters to make doesn't yet exist in vanilla Minecraft, but that might also be part of the themes of the movie. See, the filmmakers have said that Henry, the kid holding the orb, is supposed to represent a very specific type of Minecraft player.
Such a big part of Minecraft has been the creator community and modding. So we thought that the Henry character could represent basically the modder, the person who takes the vanilla game and tweaks it and adjusts it.
Henry is a modder, representing the people who would be able to make something new and put it into vanilla Minecraft themselves. Maybe that's what's happening here with this portal recipe. It's something new that the film is adding to this canon. But aside from that, perhaps something even more exciting here? If this is indeed an orb of interaction, this could give us an answer to something that we've been searching for years. How is Steve actually able to build and craft? We've long theorized that Steve and the other player characters were the descendants of ancient builders, but we were never able to quite put our finger onto why they were able to build so quickly while other mobs like the villagers couldn't. Well, if this thing in the movie is an orb of interaction, that would be why. Remember, one of the abilities that this orb has is turning yellow to let you build. The way I see it, Steve, as a descendant of the ancient builders who left the overworld, always yearned for the mines. For some reason, he was drawn to where this orb of interaction was hidden and used it to get back to the overworld. We previously speculated that Steve is the reason that our main characters are facing the problems in this story, and that he will have some sort of redemption arc in this movie. And this orb would be a perfect part of that lesson, allowing Steve to learn what the ancient builders perhaps should have learned. That building can be dangerous if not used wisely. Will he be able to accept that? Maybe. Or maybe he'll just turn into the hero Brian by the end of it for the inevitable sequel. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. Up next on Film Theory.
The plot for the second Five Nights at Freddy's movie is right in front of us. The key to figuring out which one is hidden on one of these script pages, and I figured it out. I know which one it is. I'm not crazy, you're crazy.